Look at that. Hey everybody, Rex Bear Leak Project. How the heck are you? I've got the EMF blocking liners out, the clothing, and I'm going to do a test today on the new Samsung 5G Ultra to test the EMF levels that are emitted, because a lot of people are concerned about the 5 and the G. So we're going to talk about it, and I've got a very sensitive acoustimeter that actually picks up frequencies from 600 megahertz all the way into the, I think, 8 gigahertz range or somewhere around there. So there's certain frequencies it won't pick up, but the area that I'm in, I don't even really have to worry about that. So I'm not in a big city. If you're in a big city and you see a lot of microwave dishes pop up that are emitting millimeter waves, like in the 20, 30, 40, 50 gigahertz range, this acoustimeter won't pick that up. However, this does pick up the majority of the EMF radiation that is emitted. So, and it's extremely sensitive. Now, we have several different caps here, as you can see. We've got the ORP budget blocker, that's Oppenheimer Ranch Project. And this is the C60 Purple Power from c60purplepower.com. If you use the code LEAK10, you'll get an extra 10% off. There have been many studies with EMF radiation, non-ionizing and ionizing radiation, as well as C60 and the benefits C60 has. So definitely look into that if you're interested and use that code. But here's the acoustimeter right here. And we're going to go ahead and see what the levels are. Now, in the next podcast, I'll show you what the router emits and then also the microwave, because we test the microwave, we test the router, we test a 5G booster. But in this specific video, as you can see, the EMF levels are hanging out around 1 to 5, extremely low, because the router is not turned on. The router's turned off, the microwave's turned off. There's very little background radiation in the room. Now, this is showing you the Salzburg study that was done in 2002. They recommend to have the EMF levels at 10 or below on average, and that's 10 microwatts per square meter. Your phone, oftentimes, at least my phone anyway, I've seen my phone and other phones that I've had hit 7 to 10,000 microwatts per square meter, because it's pinging towers so it can get a signal. And if you're further out in nature and it's trying to get a signal even harder, then it can emit even more of this EMF. Now, right now we're looking at 17, 20, 46. We're looking at pretty low levels. My phone was not on airplane mode there, and that's what it was probably picking up. So now we're going to go ahead and test the levels on the phone. It's just sitting there, and nobody's sending me a message. I'm not sending out any messages. I'm not moving it around, and it's hanging out around 1 microwatts per square meter. Hey, look at the time. So now when I pick it up and start to move it, you will see that the levels increase. It's not bad, but it's definitely over 10 in a lot of circumstances. So this is just moving it. Now, what about when you actually send a text message? Well, let's do that. I send text messages to Greg here, Greg Allison. I'm like, hey, are we still doing a podcast here shortly? And you can see that it actually spikes over 8,000 microwatts per square meter. That's 800 times considered average safe levels. Now I'm getting messages from Kristen here, text messages from Kristen, and the phone spikes over 7,000 microwatts per square meter, bouncing around from 7,000 plus to less than 100. Now I put it in an EMF blocking wallet. This is the S20 phone with a case around it, so it's one of the biggest phones you can get, and I'm still able to put it in this EMF wallet with one hand and cover it. Now, when I show you the EMF levels, check this out. Boom, back to 1. Whether you're getting text messages or phone calls, you won't get phone calls and text messages if you put your phone in this wallet, because it's blocking the signal. And you can also put your your money, because there's another pouch, there's like another pocket in there. There's essentially an EMF divider. So you put the phone behind that, and then in front of the EMF divider, you can put your credit cards, your driver's license, your money. Now I'm wrapping the phone, and you can see this thing's bouncing all over the place. The rad levels are the EMF levels are bouncing all over the place. Now I wrap this thing with one of the liners that are put in these caps. And then I have to put a couple of bands around it. And you can see you will not get text messages. You will not get phone calls. It will stay extremely low. Now, there's still some external EMFs, very minor. As you can see, it's going from like 1 to 6, but it's hanging out around 1. That's good. So thanks for watching. If you're interested, check out TinFoilCapCo. And if you have something you want me to test the EMF levels on, send me an email at TinFoilCap.co. We'll check it out. Be excellent to each other and be the change you want to see.